Hey everyone, what's up? Yeah, it's a little late, early, depending on how you watch this. Um, but yeah, I thought I'd take this time to kind of talk about something I've talked about in the past. And I recently did a video as well as a text version of what I said because one of the people that I watch on DeviantArt and I've commissioned a story for uh, did Enough is Enough, and which you can check out. It's a video I did called Why Sonic and Sally Aren't Together in the Comics right now, and he basically asked me to do a text version of what I said, and well, more like to give him the gist, like give him the main things that I talked about. Well, just like I do with videos sometimes, I went a little overboard, I guess you could say, a little overboard, and basically gave him more than just the gist of it. I kind of explained in a more text version exactly what I had said in the video. But not that long ago, in fact it was a couple of years ago or something like that, I'm not really sure, maybe a year or so ago, maybe a couple of years, I talked about why the Sonic and Sally pairing, the shipping of Sonic and Sally is so popular among fans. And I felt, well, we're about 23 issues into the soft reboot retcon, or reboot retcon, whatever you want to call it. I figured, what the heck, might as well talk about it again, give more of a updated version of it. And I guess to basically say, as a Sonic and Sally fan myself, because yes, I am going to come out here and say, as I've pointed out many times, whether through video or text, if you will, I am a huge Sonic and Sally fan. I'm not going to deny that, at all. I'm not going to deny that at all. But what I will say is this. What I will say is this. The reason Sonic and Sally is such a popular pairing in the Sonic comics, and has been since the inception of the comics back in late '92, early '93, and really came to prominence, if you will, thanks to the Saturday morning cartoon show on ABC Saturday AM from '93 to '95. The reason there's such a prominent pairing, the reason people get behind them so much is because pairing them together is natural. It's just natural there. I mean, here you have someone in Sally that's, as much hate as you might want to throw at her is, as much, like I said, as much hate as you want to throw at her, and as much as some people might want to call her a Mary Sue and all that, it's a natural foil for Sonic. She's a natural foil for him. She's a natural counterpart to what Sonic is, or to who Sonic is. And if you watch the cartoon series, you've read the comics, and like I said, despite how you might feel about the character, she has proven to be just that. She's proven to be the natural foil. She's proven to be the natural counterpart. She can match wits, if you will, with Sonic. She can, at times. Depending on who's writing the story or the episode, she can match wits with him. She can match sarcasm with him. She can do all that. Which is why she's a natural fit. Like I said, people can come out and say all they want about her. They can say, oh, she's a Mary Sue, she shouldn't be there, she was never really part of the game, da 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 da. They can say all they want, but they have to admit she is a natural fit. She's the natural foil. Just like Sonic at times could be a natural foil and fit for her. It's true. It is true. There have been several times in the comic, I'm not going to say a lot of times, but several times in the comics, as well as in the show, I'm not going to name how many, like I said, both ways, kind of several, Sonic has been her natural foil and has been her natural fit. I'll give you an example, okay? Just one example from from the cartoon series. When the first season came around, they had an episode called Sonic and the Secret Scrolls. In it, Sonic was presented, or in it, basically, Sonic was introduced to the Freedom Stormer. And as much as he tried to argue with Sally that the plane was a bad idea, she wouldn't listen. Even when Sonic said, Robotnik's radar would pick them up in a sonic second, she said we could, fly under the radar. They could fly under the radar. Alright? Even though Sonic still protested. Because even though she said, oh, we can fly low at night, low under the radar, and he's like, I don't like it. He's not going, and he doesn't think she should go either, because he knows that despite what she's saying, it's going to backfire. And that's exactly what happened. And to kind of prove the point, and I guess kind of teach him a little bit of a lesson about the plane, Sonic decided to go back with them on the condition he could fly it. So that way, I guess when they got back to Knothole, after kind of, recovering from the upset stomachs and all that, decided to trash the plane. Because did we ever see the Freedom Stormer after that? No, we didn't. We didn't see the Freedom Stormer after that. So that's an example right there of him being her natural foil as well. Like I said, there are several other times. I'm not going to bring them up. You fans might know what I'm talking about in the comics as well as in the cartoon. But again, just saying. She is a natural fit. She's a natural foil for Sonic, as he is for her. That's why they work good together. That's why, despite who the writer has been, whether it's been Ken Penders or currently Ian Flynn, maybe down the line Leah Baker, who knows, they put them together because they're a natural fit. They counteract with each other. They do. I mean, why do you think in the Prime universe of the DC universe, they put, Superman with Lois Lane? Because she was a natural foil of Superman. Natural foil, vice versa. Same when they went the New 52 route and said, okay, instead of Lois Lane, we'll go with Wonder Woman. Why? Natural fit. Natural fit and natural foil to each other. Same with Batman and Selina Kyle. Batman, Catwoman. Why do you think they put them together? Natural foil to each other. Natural fit, natural foil. Same with, depending on what incarnation of Batman you watch. Same with Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, and Robin, Nightwing, Dick Grayson. Why do you think they put them together? Natural fit. Natural fit and foil. And also they complemented each other. Same at times with Spider-Man and Mary Jane. Natural fit and foil for each other. Same when he was with Gwen Stacy. Natural fit and foil. Even when they would pair them up with, let's say, Black Cat. Natural fit and foil. The list is endless. Scott Summers, Jean Grey. Same thing. Wolverine and whoever his love interest was. Same thing. The point is, folks, you can discourage and hate on appearing in any kind of media all you want. The reason they're put together is because they're a natural fit and foil. Why do you think in Cadillac Cats, a Heathcliff related cartoon, Cleo is paired with Riff Raff? Natural fit and foil to both each other. Same with Heathcliff and Sonia. I'm just saying, why do you think for a temporary time, when Archie Comics had the license for the Ninja Turtles, they allowed a character like Ninjara to be brought in, become the love interest of Raphael, natural fit and foil, for both each other? Why do you think they're doing it with why do you think they did it in that one episode of the original cartoon with Raphael and Mona Lisa, and plan to do it again in the new cartoon? Natural fit and foil. The point is, the characters, they complement each other and they work off each other because they're able to trade wit, they're able to trade sarcasm, they're able to basically, kind of watch the other's back and try to prove, and in times even prove the other wrong by saying, I told you this wasn't going to work, and having the other have to swallow the pride and say, yes, I know, you're right. That is why you've always had the writers, depending on who they were. Whether it was Ben Hurst on Sat AM, Ken Penders, Mike Gallagher, Ian Flynn, and maybe even in the future, if they decide to go with it again, Aaliyah Baker, Tracy Yardlin, whoever. This is why they would always put them together, or probably will put them together, because they're a natural fit. You can't just hate on somebody or hate on a pairing because the opposite's not officially in the games. You can't really do that. I mean, come on, honestly. Did fans hate on Ninjara when she came into the Ninja Turtles when they were under the license of Archie Comics? No, they embraced her. They loved her. They felt she was a natural fit for the Turtles. Even though she was never originally part of the team or the concept, they felt she was a natural fit. Do you think they hate on Mona Lisa? Heck no. The fans have demanded Mona Lisa to come back. Even though she was never really officially part of the whole thing into the original series in the early to mid 90s, the 4th season that is. But they never hated on her. They loved her. They embraced her. Heck, you got this Aeroplex, or whatever her name is right now, which is a fox creature in her own right. Do you think the fans are hating on her? No. They're not hating on her. They're embracing her. The point is, you can hate on a character all you want, just because they may have not been part of the original concept, or they may not be a part of what's originally published or released. But if that character is a natural fit to the character that's established, then so be it. And if you want a little bit of history, Sally's character is based off a character from the first Sonic game, in which she was one of those woodland creatures that got rescued. And I know some people might say that was originally Ricky Acorn. Guess what? That was the inspiration for the Sally character we have. True, some people might say it was a transgender, but guess what? As we have seen in media throughout the years, you can transgender a character. You can create a character and make them a different gender, and it will work. You can make them another race, and it will work. So yeah, the inspiration may have been a male Ricky Acorn squirrel, but guess what? That inspiration gave us a very popular character in Sally Acorn. And like I said, you can hate on her all you want. But the thing is, when the decision was made to make her the love interest, the girlfriend of Sonic back in the comics when they started, and even in the Saturday morning cartoon series, is because the way they created her, the way they explained, characterized who she was, made her a natural fit. It did. I mean, that is why you have fans constantly, like myself, creating fan fits. Still drawing artwork of the two together. It's because we know everything that I've mentioned here is a fact. It's a fact of life. I mean, let's see. Let's take Space Jam, for example. Let's take this, for example. This was the movie. This year was the movie that Lola Bunny was officially introduced in. Did fans hate on her because she became the new love interest of Bugs Bunny? No, they didn't. They embraced her. They even embraced the fact that after a while, at least for 2 seasons, and even into this movie, they even embraced her more loony side, and were happy to see that side of her come out, even if it was a complete opposite of what they saw in Space Jam. They were happy to see it because they liked the character. They liked her. They didn't go out and pitchfork Warner Brothers and say, "Get rid of Lola Bunny, we don't like her. Bugs Bunny should be alone." Did they do that? No. Did they do that with Tina Duck? With Tina Russo in Looney Tunes show? No, they didn't. They embraced them. They accepted them. And why? Because they were natural foils, vice versa, for the male counterparts. Thus, the male counterparts were natural foils for them. See, the only reason people hate on Sally, and this is not a jab at the Amy fans, the only reason people hate on Sally is because of how certain writers wrote her in the past. Some people will center around 134 and say that's what made us hate Sally, because of the way she acted there. Let me give you a little bit of a history lesson there. Carl Bollers, who wrote for the comic at the time, was never a fan of those two. When he was given reins temporarily, his plan was to ship Sonic with Mina. That was his plan. With Mina Mongoose. That was his plan, but it never happened. And you know what? Even while Sonic and Sally had broken up from that time up to 222. Okay, 222. And let me remind you of this. From 134 to 222, you know how many issues that was? 88 issues until they were back together. So, to basically calm the rage of anybody that wants to throw pitchforks, the writers from Ken Penders from Carl Bollers all the way to Ian Flynn, not Carl Bollers, well, depending on how you look at it, Bollers, Penders, Flynn, were able to keep them unofficial, were able to keep them as friends until that time. And despite how I might feel about Ian Flynn, despite how anybody else might feel about Ian Flynn, at least he had the sense to slowly take his time and build that relationship back up. Because Ian knew, just like I do and anybody else does, Sonic and Sally are always going to be a natural fit. They're always going to be natural foils for each other. No matter how many times you try to pair them with somebody else, they're always going to come back to each other because they're a natural fit. That's what they are. You know, and despite how one may look at it sometimes right now, with the fact that they're not officially together, there's always that little bit of hope, that little bit of hope there, that little bit of hope, that little bit of that door cracking open and that light coming through that shows you it probably will happen. Let me give you an example that I mentioned in the text and I mentioned in the video that the text is based on from the last time. In a panel from issue 78 of Sonic Universe, Sonic is carrying Sally across the Sky Patrol like he did in the old days. If Ian Flynn was so against these two being together for right now, why would he do that scene? Why would he write that scene in? Because he wants to put them together.